This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery, and now a national provider of legal hemp-derived CBD products via their new platform at easewellness.com. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Tuesday, February 26, 2019, and you're tuned in to episode 673 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We kick off this fantastic Tuesday with good news out of the Caribbean nation of St. Kitts and Nevis, which is moving to legalize medical marijuana while decriminalizing the possession of small amounts of adult use cannabis. Prime Minister Timothy Harris issued a statement to the National Assembly late last week, announcing the formation of a National Marijuana Commission to oversee the process of making a number of sweeping changes to the nation's cannabis laws. Besides legalizing medical marijuana, Prime Minister Harris's statement comes with the recommendation that the possession of less than 15 grams of marijuana be reduced to a ticketable offense, as would the home grow of 5 plants or less. Marijuana Business Daily has a good write-up on this one. Besides the obvious and immediate positive benefits of more liberal cannabis policy on the local level, Caribbean nations have the added opportunity to develop marijuana tourism. The U.S. Virgin Islands recognized that and took steps last year to build out their medical marijuana program to be friendly to off-island visitors. This is a really good storyline to be on top of. Zipping out to Colorado, we have a big headline in Denver, where the city council voted last night by a vote of 10-1 to make permanent a pilot program allowing for the public social use of marijuana that was voted in by city voters in a 2016 ballot measure. We've covered this one lots before, as the pilot program has struggled to roll out under a very restrictive set of constraints, including a 1,000-foot setback rule that leaves most of the city ineligible for siting. There is just one business open currently under the pilot program, as one of the 2 that had been open just announced its closing. The program's new permanent status should hopefully entice other new businesses to start up, and the city council is considering making further changes to the program to make it easier to operate within. So I'm sure we'll be back with more on this one later down the road. The Associated Press grabs our final top story today with the headline out of San Francisco about a little bit of tech-enabled social justice work. The San Francisco District Attorney's Office announced yesterday that it had, in partnership with a technology-focused nonprofit, automatically erased or reduced more than 8,000 cannabis-related convictions from its records. The nonprofit group Code for America set up an automated system that first searched through past criminal records for certain kinds of marijuana charges and then populated and filed forms to have them reduced or thrown out. In all, 8,132 cases have been positively affected since last May. During yesterday's announcement, San Francisco District Attorney George Gascon said, quote, "I want to continue to evangelize, if you will, to get others around the country and the state to do the same things and push the envelope to continue to reduce the impacts of criminal convictions when we can," unquote. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery, and now a national provider of legal hemp-derived CBD products via their new platform over at easewellness.com. Check out today's stellar daily deal over at ease.com, where you can get 30% off select pre-rolls from Island. Just fill up your shopping cart with picks from today's daily deal, slap down the code CHILL, then sit back and wait less than an hour for your Ease order to show up, assuming you're in a part of California where Ease is active and that it's during legal delivery hours. And if you're not in the Golden State, you can fire up easewellness.com for professionally curated CBD products made with hemp-derived CBD that show up in your mail just 4 to 6 business days after ordering. Thanks everyone over at Ease for their support. All right, time for the blitz. Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman is currently touring his state to get a better gauge of how people feel about the merits of marijuana. During an opening ceremony attended by the lieutenant governor yesterday for a new medical dispensary, Fetterman said that he has yet to hear a single negative comment about medical cannabis in, quote, the hundreds of conversations, unquote, that he's had so far about the subject. Pennsylvania is a little over a year into having a working medical marijuana system, and there's a lot of momentum building to expand reforms to include adult use. Speaking of strong support for medical cannabis, we have a headline out of Iowa with a new poll showing that 78% of respondents support the expansion of the state's medical marijuana program, with just 18% opposed. In terms of adult use marijuana, the numbers came down evenly split, with 48% saying they were in support and 48% saying they were opposed. The Portland Press-Herald is reporting that the state of Maine has selected a new contractor to help it create the rules and regulations for the adult use sales program voted in back in 2016. The Colorado-based company Freeman & Koski were selected from a small pool of applicants and will be awarded the $189,000 contract to help the state's taxed and regulated system spool up. Regular listeners should remember that this contract was first given out in December, but Freeman & Koski sued the state thereafter, charging that the scoring process used to select the winner was flawed. The winner of that round, the company Botech, came in second place in this latest round. Maine is yet to open up any legal adult use shops. The state is shooting to have rules in place for the industry to do that by early May. Not a bad story to open up in full if you do business up here in my corner of the country. Oklahoma's KTUL has an insightful story about the remarkable growth seen in that state's nascent medical cannabis program, which is marked by the lack of any kind of cap on marijuana business licenses. As a result, as KTUL has it, there are now 143 medical marijuana dispensary licenses issued just for the city of Tulsa, which has just over 400,000 citizens. While it's not certain that all of those licenses will turn into open shops, it's likely that most of them will, making Oklahoma one of the most interesting storylines in the industry. And that's just the city of Tulsa. The Associated Press returns to our headlines with a good story about the 18 new proposed bills introduced into the Maryland State Legislature recently dealing with marijuana law reform. 11 of those 18 bills were introduced by one lawmaker in particular, Senator Bobby Zirkin, who is also chair of the state's Medical Cannabis Commission. This is one of those stories that you just need to pop open. It's a good peek into the world of state-level legislative reform. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. David Downs over at Leafly ends our news day today with a deep dive into California's licensed marijuana cultivation scene, where farmers are facing the loss of temporary license because the state is not able to process their applications for permanent status quickly enough. There are also issues with local permits and the sheer complexity and high costs associated with the application process. As David lays out nicely, if something isn't done, the state's industry faces a sharp drop in the availability of licensed cannabis starting this spring. This is another one that I'd read today, even if you don't do business in the Golden State. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Jay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.